Today is Friday the 27th, the day after Thanksgiving. I'm sure everyone is a little bit still probably full and or sleepy from turkey. Um, it's a kind of cloudy day here, excuse me, for nice napping day. So I hope you all have an opportunity to do that. Um, right now, we're finding that that napping or need maybe to close your eyes and just nod off is actually more than just sleepiness or tiredness, that your system is actually asking for you to drop into a deeper place and just check in. It's like getting either a little boost, a little adjustment, um, maybe giving to the particular reality that you may be popping into. I'm finding a lot of clients are um, what one might call dreaming awake, and that's dropping into a state of mind called the theta state, where you are vaguely aware of your outer surroundings, maybe music, noise, kids playing in the house, but you are feeling asleep at the same time. And it's a very powerful way to tap in and again, just connect. It may be to a different reality. It may be to a deeper place in yourself. So go on with the napping or even little cat naps. But today I'd really like to bring forward, of course, gratitude. And any of you who speak Spanish are aware that the word for thanks in Spanish is gracias, and in Italian it's grazie. And these are words derived from grace. So grace has been available always, of course, but we have an opportunity to feel into, receive, give, and contemplate grace. And that I'll leave you do on your own, but I do want to bring forward the power of gratitude. And for me, gratitude and thanks are a little bit different. Gratitude can be more of a wider overall gratitude. It can come from a different place within your body energy field system. And thanks is for me more of an outward expression. Of course, when you say thank you. And I'm not sure that as many people say thank you as perhaps 30, 40, 50 years ago and before, where it was a bit more of an etiquette action. And that thanks is so powerful. I know that it literally taps into, and I'm not the only one, many have written about it, it taps into a law of back and forth, a giving and a receiving. And there are many gratitude practices out there. There are quite a few gratitude books, which I'll mention in a moment, which are powerful exercises to realize the countless things that make our day easier, better, the abundance, the luxury in this country, the fluidity of being able to pick up and go do something or go visit somewhere or go out in nature, or the ease with which we can run to a store and grab something versus going out and having to harvest it and store it and not having it. I was talking about a pie. I made a very unusual pie yesterday that I've never made before, but it was a request for an apricot prune apricot prune pie. Maybe I'll have to change the title prune to prune and apricot pie to make it easier to say. And you know how that came about, why it was maybe a pie of old versus a modern pie. And we were discussing the possibility that that was something that was, you know, dried and available, therefore, in times where there wasn't easy access to an orchard because of the weather, and fruits and vegetables. So, you know, it gives pause when you think of the ease of, even on Thanksgiving Day, grocery stores being open, maybe for limited hours, but they are here in the United States. There's always 7-Eleven, Wawa's, convenience stores available. So that, you know, ease and simply the fact that you don't have to do the labor intensive gathering and slaughtering of animals and preserving things is, you know, huge compared to our history. And that abundance is something that we want and need to preserve. And the law of, I was reminded, 2 crows just flew by, and crows represent law, spiritual law. And I was saying that just a few minutes ago as I was talking about giving and receiving. And that is a profound spiritual law, that not only as you give, you shall receive, but that back and forth or circular motion, if you'd rather see it, you know, as a circular, you give, it comes back around to you in a different way. You give thanks, that circle can continue to keep swirling, because with the thanks, it gives the power to kind of go around the other side of the circle. And then, you know, let's call it the left side of the circle is after you receive and it comes, or after you give and it comes back around to you. The thanks, the feeling of gratitude gives the energy for it to come around circularly again to being able to receive. So, and of course, nothing new, but an invitation to feel into and think about that. Another very significant factor in this for me, and what's been showing up for a lot of clients as well and friends, is what I refer to as hypersynchronicity. I did not come up with the term, but I do align with it and find it very well describes the level of synchronicity that one can experience as you've transformed the patterns and pieces within you that are impeding the authentic, true you to come forth. And I liken that oftentimes to wearing a costume and mask and makeup. That little by little, as you remove that costume and the makeup and your authentic self comes through, you automatically in the, let me back up a little bit. In working with clients for several decades at this point, what is always so fabulous to see and for clients to experience is the way your intuitive abilities come online as those patterns fall away. And as those intuitive abilities come online, and what I'm talking about that is being able to tap into, excuse me, your innate, so that you can feel your way, navigate through your daily life. You know, questioning, you know, should I do this? Is this the time to pick up the phone to call that company to straighten out a snafu? If you follow that innate, which is about 3 finger widths below where your that round bone where your ribs come together is called the xiphoid. And if you lay 3 fingers down just below that is where your innate, which is an energetic center that aligns with or ties directly into your wider self. So this is you speaking to you with a wider, much wider perspective, a soul perspective, guiding you and leading you throughout your everyday life, which enables you to move with more ease and more grace, and will align you more with the universe and the assistance that is there for you to do what you love and to express yourself even more each day. And when I speak of hypersynchronicity, I'm referring to as those intuitive abilities come online, and each person has their own particular default way of intuiting, and it isn't all through the third eye. That is a frequency that one can tap into, but it isn't necessarily the natural frequency of the multitudes of people. So you have to find your way. And again, when I'm working with clients through this process, that comes on automatically. You're literally tuned in to the universal wide web, as I refer to it, and the information that you may need, and the opportunities and the people that will help you along your path come into play. You are able to receive information from aspects of nature, from animals. The information may come through the television or through some blip on your phone coming up, or through any of the social media platforms, that just all of a sudden there is something you're speaking about. Um, a, a an 8-year-old that I know and love find that this happens all the time. We're playing with something, or something comes up, and later on it'll show up in a TV show or a book that we're reading, and that's immediate. It's like literally within hours. And it's such a wonder to have that validation and have that confirmation. And each time, it has to bring a smile and bring joy to your whole body energy field system, not to mention your mind. When oh, gee, I'd really like something as far as a gift is concerned now as we go into the gift giving season. And all of a sudden, an ad for that thing pops up on the television, which again, online, it's expected because your purchases and your research is being tracked. But when I'm referring to hypersynchronicity, it is an incredible alignment of an idea or a request that you may have, or even something that you have been thinking about, praying about, whatever. And there is the odds of it occurring in that particular way, the confirmation, the validation, the information coming in, the possibilities, if you were to calculate the actual statistical odds of that occurring, either in the way that it presents itself or the rapidity with which it presents itself, is, they're generally, those statistics are astronomical. So that's what I'm referring to as far as hypersynchronicity. And everyone has this potential, but it gets very difficult to receive that hypersynchronicity, and therefore the response that you can have to it, without really being open. And that ability to be open only comes when you have kind of removed a lot of, or transformed rather, a lot of those patterns. And the reason why I'm even focusing on hypersynchronicity is that I have found throughout the years that when this occurs, the universe is bringing you something, And the word automatically, it comes out of your mouth, oh, thank you. You know, thank you to the divine, thank you to the universe, thank you to your guides and teachers and masters, whatever you feel comfortable saying. But the word thank you comes out. If I'm looking for something as a gift and boom, it's in that store that I just walked in that I didn't expect it, and it's on sale on top of it, and there's plenty to choose from, you know, there's an automatic thank you. And with that, it's energizing that circle of giving and gratitude that I was mentioning. So, and this practice and power of gratitude has been taught and preached for thousands of years in all the major religions: Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism. All the major religions speak of and teach gratitude. And again, there's some wonderful books. Sarah Van Breathnach, Breathnach, has a beautiful, she refers to it as an abundance book. And yet you're going through each day, it's kind of like a journal after the initial introduction. And with reminders of different things that we can be grateful for, but leaves open the blank page for you to write in your gratitude list each day. She says that gratitude is the most passionate, transformative force in the cosmos. And gratitude gifts us with the renewal, reflection, reconnection. Gratitude bestows reverence. Another wonderful book is by Rhonda Byrne, Byrne, and the book is Magic, The Magic. And she finds magic in gratitude. And that's what I was just trying to bring forth, is when we're talking about that hypersynchronicity, that you think of something and there it is, or you're looking for something and the answer comes, or looking for the answer to a question and it comes so quickly. That hypersynchronicity is really magic. And by magic, I refer to something that is beyond your imagination and it happens lightning fast. Those are, for me, the two descriptives of, or the two factors that most define magic. And it's interesting that this book is called Magic because those that I know and myself who have practiced this, followed the exercises in this book, you literally see your life change. So it is magic, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your physical, all different areas of your life, because the practices, the exercises cover all of them. So I highly encourage you even to start today. It's an inexpensive book. I think purposely kept that way so that many people can access it. She brings forth a passage in the Bible that has puzzled people for over 2,000 years, she says, and Ernest Holmes also speaks about this. The passage that says, whosoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. And it does sound confusing. I'm going to read it over again very, very slowly. And yes, there's different wordings depending on the version of the Bible you're looking at. But in this particular instance, the quote is, whosoever or whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. And that's a little bit modernized, but it's still the idea of those that are lacking, when you read it right off, will not get any more. And she points out, Rhonda Byrne points out, that if you substitute the word gratitude in that, or the idea of gratitude within that, it makes perfect sense. So, for example, it would then read, whoever does not have gratitude, even what he has will be taken from him. And again, it breaks the circle, right, that I was just referring to. You cannot receive if you do not give. And in this case, it would be giving thanks, our season right now, right? So the other point I wanted to mention, everybody's familiar with the law of attraction, and part of that is, you know, feeling the joy and the pleasure of the receiving of or the having of what it is that you're calling in to attract. But there is scientific proof that like attracts like. There's an actual Greater Good Science Center that works in collaboration with Robert Emmons of the University of California, Davis. And they study the science of gratitude, its benefits and effects in the brain. And George Simmel calls it the moral memory of mankind, saying that it may have been involved by strengthening bonds between members of the same species who mutually helped each other out. So again, the circle is so vital. And right now, more than ever, we have so much abundance, particularly in this country, but we do so on the planet. And when anyone is experiencing or sees the world as that of scarcity, again, it kind of brings it back to that idea that if you believe that there is scarcity, it makes it very difficult for you to experience or to believe in that circle and the energy that moves that circle of giving and receiving. And of course, you know, we have the turkey that is a Native American symbol of giving. That's why there was called the potlatch. It was a ceremony, it was a gathering of the tribes, or rather the different singular living areas of a tribe, and then coming together, or offshoots of a tribe and coming together. It was not generally multiple different tribes coming together, but the potlatch was very little understood in the when the Europeans came, and for, you know, hundreds of years, this ceremony of gathering and bringing what it is that you would like to offer another. And it wasn't things that were no longer usable or things that you simply didn't want. There was an idea of sharing, there was a feeling of sharing that was underneath the potlatch. And so you brought things, and either something perhaps that you know another loved and admired that you possessed, and this automatic giving, even if it was something that you loved, but if you knew another admired and loved that, then the idea of offering it, or the action of offering it, was done freely and lovingly. And then that person may go on to hand off something that was very, very needed by another. So that always the focus on what is good for the tribe, what is good for others, is underlying so many Native American practices, so many indigenous practices around the world. And in this instance, that giving allowed for many in the group who did not have to receive. And that generated such energy of the circle of giving and receiving throughout then the year, and as well as the sense of abundance. So I'm really encouraging you to either, you know, grab the Abundance book. I think it's called The Abundance Journal by Sarah Van Brethnock, or The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, or simply do some gratitude practices on a daily basis. You know, I love the one that actually is from Rhonda Byrne's book, where you wake up in the morning, and certainly I did this long before the book came, or I encountered the book, is waking up in the morning and being able to walk into a comfortable, clean bathroom and wash your face, brush your teeth, use the toilet. I, for many years, didn't even know the name of the person who invented the toilet, but was sending blessings and gratitude on a constant basis. I have lived in places where toilets are absolutely not what they are here in the United States. Certainly camping and spending time where you don't have the facility of a flushable toilet. Just one tiny thing that I certainly feel huge amounts of gratitude for, and that we take often for granted in this country that other countries do not or are not able to experience. So I just wanted to read some gratitude quotes or ideas of gratitude from many that are well known around the world for centuries. Muhammad said that gratitude for the abundance you received gives the assurance that the abundance will continue. Again, this is just what I've been mentioning about the circle, right? Buddha said that you have no cause for anything but gratitude and joy, which allows you to send that if you rejoice in the ways things are, the whole world will belong to you. Krishna said that whatever he is offered, he accepts with joy. King David spoke of giving thanks to the whole world for everything between the heavens and earth. And Jesus performed or gave thanks before he performed any of the miracles that he that are mentioned. From the Australian Aborigines, all indigenous tribes have deep gratitude practices and thanks. As I mentioned, just one with the potlatch. And you can do research on this. The Australian Aboriginals, to the African Maasai and the Zulu, the American Navajo, Shawnee and Cherokee, Tahitians, Eskimo, Maori. The practice of gratitude is at the root of most indigenous traditions, as I mentioned. This is a quote from Tecumseh, who was a Shawnee Native American leader. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the morning light, for your life and strength. Give thanks for your food and the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies within yourself. And you can, again, look up and find so many different gratitude practices from Mother Teresa, from Martin Luther King, from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lincoln, Plato, Jung, Einstein, every great, every person who seeks any sort of self-awareness comes to the knowledge that thanks is a vital part of your spirituality. Findhorn, which is a fabulous community, it's been around for about 4 decades or more, I'm not even sure, in Scotland, that works very, very deeply with nature and with the land and nature spirits, and grow vegetables and flowers that are beyond belief, normal size, richness, color, etc., because that synergistic cooperation with nature is done and has been done for all these many decades. And I'm sure this is a quote from Eileen Caddy, who is one of the founders of Findhorn. Cultivate an attitude of generosity and act as though there is plenty for you and for everyone, everywhere. give freely and generously. And there are so many in need at this point in time because of the pandemic and for many other reasons before the pandemic. So I invite you to please find some way of sharing the bounty, sharing the abundance, particularly at this season. There are, I have supported for probably 2.5 decades the Camden Rescue Mission in right here in Camden, who service and help the very most challenged, the most needy of those in Camden. And so please, if you have, I'm asking for toys, coats, warm socks, anything that you can share. And I'm going to be kind of a drop-off center. If you can, please come and drop it off. I will see that they get food by all means. Food for the holidays. Oftentimes people forget that it is, especially needed right now. And for anyone who does make a donation, that will be discounts off of all of sessions, etc. I'll put it on the website, but it really reduces maybe an hourly session that someone can't necessarily afford, but I will, in acknowledgement of your gifting, gift back in any way that I can, certainly through my work. More. See any other quotes that I wanted to bring forward. Just that, true abundance comes from true gratefulness. And as we begin the meditation, I'm going to read a Native American prayer. I don't actually have the source, but it is beautiful, and I think you'll be able to feel the energetics in it. So I encourage you now to please get yourself comfortable, finding your sits bones, which are the bones right in the very center of each buttocks. And I invite you to do so because if you are able to sit clearly or firmly on those bones and then let your shoulder blades kind of slide downward and a little bit together, it allows for your chest to open it up. It allows for your spine to align, which allows the energy to flow down and through you into the earth, and from the earth up through your spine and through to the higher frequencies of you. So it is not just a particular position to get into, but there for any other purpose except to allow the energy to flow. So that's why I encourage you to do so. I also encourage you to leave your eyes open, if only a tiny little slit, as you begin the meditation, and then certainly to close your eyes and allow yourself to drop in deeply. So once you're positioned and you can feel yourself physically seated, I invite you to say to yourself or say out loud, I am asking and I am allowing my body. I am asking and I am allowing my energy field. I am asking and I am allowing my wider self. I am asking and I am allowing my guides and teachers and masters. I am asking and I am allowing all parts of me, all times of me, to join me here and now, assisting me, guiding me, leading me down and in to my inner verse. That's your internal world where all answers lie, all information that you could desire. That's where you're able to access that innate information. Much more powerful, much more clear, much more individually accurate for you, rather than necessarily going up and out to a frequency that may not be in your deepest alignment. And as always, I am going to call in some of our regulars, so to speak, masters that assist and guide this particular form of meditation. We always have Mikhail, who is a protector force and who also holds the energetic of mutual duality, meaning dark and light, good and bad, heaven and earth, on and on, that there is a mutual appreciation, acknowledgement, gratitude for both aspects, always, of duality. We also always call in the divine feminine mothers, Mary, Tara, Kuan Yin, Sophia, Amma, Great Mother. Great Mother being that sense of abundance and gifting that the earth always has offered, and that ancient cultures knew and felt and worshipped and acknowledged and did ceremony and ritual with the Great Mother. And as always, we have Francis here, Francis of Assisi, to assist us in walking with an open heart in the Native American way of acknowledging and having gratitude for all our relations. And Francis, in the Christian tradition, really recognized that every blade of grass, every bird, everything is of the divine and therefore part of you. As always, we call in Lady Gaia to allow the very earth of you to be present here and for you to feel that earthing. We have the great good fortune of being able to still at this point walk outside and put our feet on the ground before the freezing. I also call in the elementals to oversee and put in right relationship the earth, the air, the fire, and water within. I call in and call upon the directions. The direction of the east with Brother Eagle for illumination. The direction of the west with Brother Bear for introspection. The direction of the south with Sister Porcupine and Sister Otter, reminding us to play and to have wide-eyed wonder at all that occurs, and innocence. In the direction of the north, Lady White Buffalo, helping us to be prayerful and patient and wise. In the direction of below with all the inner earth beings, particularly those engineers and maintainers of many structures of this earth, within this earth. And in the direction of above, with our cosmic family, that through the stars and our nearby planets, we are constantly offered information, potentials, pathways. And of course, the direction within, that may always be the way for you to find you, hear you, cooperate with you, collaborate with you, between you, your wider self. And as always, I call in and call upon the ancients. And just listen to the music. Hopefully you can hear the statements that will be made, allowing you to drop in even more deeply.
The blue sky says, everything is here.
The sky says, everything is here.
The mountain says, be still.
The mountain says, be still. Keep allowing yourself to drop.
Says, fear nothing.
The sun says, fear nothing.
The grains of sand say, pay attention.
The grains of sand say, Pay attention. Keep allowing yourself to drop. The sacred geometrics are working to enable you to do so.
The flowers say, remember.
The flowers say, remember.
The stars whisper, you never die.
The stars whisper, you never die. Again, continuing to allow yourself, your energy field, your wider self, know what to do and how to do this. You need not use your will or brain whatsoever. Simply keep allowing, allowing, allowing. You'll feel your energy field deepening, coming in and infilling your body. And as you feel yourself heavier or more substantial, or even as if you're falling asleep, or maybe just the edges of you are becoming less defined, if you are new to this practice, it feels very, very different than going up and out. This is allowing your energy field to join you in a process of dropping down and in to you. You may feel yourself getting heavier on the chair. You may just feel yourself in a way that you don't normally. You may be feeling sleepy or just still. No need to follow my words or what I may be saying. Those are merely an avenue by which the transmissions can be felt or received. Simply allow no doing, no efforting. Your energy field and wider self know exactly how to bring you down and into your inner verse, your internal world. Wherein lies the knowing of this beautiful circle of giving and receiving. Abundance and blessings. Certainly, as we look out each day and eat of the bounty of this great earth, the inclusion of speaking gratitude and thanks to, for, over the food we consume, not only from the bounty of this great earth, but the many, 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 many hands that it takes to bring that bounty to us. Now more than ever, perhaps, as with this particular virus challenge that we are experiencing, feeling the thanks for those who each and every day work so very hard enabling the convenience and luxury of simply purchasing in an easily accessible store, or even delivered to your very door. Feel the abundance of you and give gratitude to you, for you. for being present here and now on this planet at a time of such evolution. And the necessary chaos that creates, feeds, fires up that evolutionary process. Gratitude to this amazing World Wide Web, which gives us access to every type of information, knowledge, resources, connections to everywhere on this planet and virtually everyone. Gratitude to the electronic means by which we can stay connected to loved ones, whether during this challenging moment or any other, because they live at a distance or for whatever reason. The amazing technological abilities that we have access to. Gratitude that so many can continue their work as a result. Of Zoom and all the many other platforms. And the more and more you are able to sink down and inside, experiencing the connection to yourself, to your wider self, and thereby the divinity within you and all things. Give thanks. For the divine, whatever you may call it, spirit, God, universal intelligence, Allah, Jehovah, whatever you may call this greater spiritual, divine, one, unified consciousness. Again, one more deep drink of this beautiful energy of gratitude, thanks, abundance, giving, receiving. Synchronicity, validation, confirmation. Thanksgiving. And now, ever so gently, you have the choice to either stay in this energetic and continue your deepening of, or if you'd prefer to end at this moment, I invite you to allow, whether now or later, your energy field and your wider self to lead you, guide you in your very organic, natural, individual way for the integration and consolidation of those energetics within your body being will occur when you allow for that process to happen without using your brain or your will. And as that is occurring, I want to read this beautiful prayer to the earth. We bow to you, Earth Mother, for all your generosity and infinite amounts of love. We give thanks for our lives, for the food we eat every day, for this beautiful planet we live on. May we all of us remember that you are our mother and learn to be better children to you, to be conscious on our walk and mindful of our impact, to remember to give back for all we receive. May your love inspire us to be more loving to all our relations. May your stillness inspire us to be more present. May we be pure and crystalline like your sacred waters and flow through this life with ease and gentleness. And may all of you have a bountiful, beautiful, breathtakingly thankful holiday weekend. And as always, my profound, profound gratitude for you being on the planet at this time. And my love and acknowledgement. And may you all be well in all ways. Until next time, bye-bye.